This, again, is that theme of similarity between art and invention. When the conference started, it was pretty interesting for me to listen to Brian Eno, who I'd never heard speak before. And this crossover in terms of how people can think really interests me a great deal. And one of the things he was mentioning actually was trying to break down art history from sort of high art and low art and merge it together. One of my goals is actually to break art out of its ghetto and make art go past this sort of the ghetto of what is art and join the rest of the world's activities, including invention and things like sustainable development, dealing with the environment and everything else. I think the boundaries have to come down. The process to do it is to be persistent and keep looking. So about 200 years later, a guy named Polykleitos, there was a point where we finally identified the artist as significant. So this is 200 years after that other sculpture, and it's a pretty good piece of progress. That is the invention of sculptural language. And it is an amazing bit of inventing. It's inventing a language. Another way you can think about invention in the arts is what artists do to make something the way they envision it. We have some idea we want to share with you all. How do we share it if the tools aren't there? Jan van Eyck, there's a very famous picture of his, the Arnolfini wedding. And his great goal was to make people look more lifelike. And oil paint did not exist. It's a little apocryphal. He did not invent it alone. In fact, there were half a dozen colleagues of his who were brewing at the same time. But more or less, one can think that Van Eyck and a group of friends invented oil paint. So when you look at the flesh on this couple, it is flesh unlike it had ever been rendered before. So it was a move towards realism at an amazing level, and he invented oil paint to do it. Amazing to me. Shifting just to get outside of this notion of art and realism, I came out of the crucible of abstract expressionism, and the notion of visual language that I was born with really was an abstract visual language. What's interesting to me here is to look at two artists functioning in the same year. Abstract expressionism is an identifiable movement. It is an overall language and an attitude. But the vocabularies within that language are very, very different. And it's pretty remarkable that we can see these two types of vocabularies within one language. And it was a particularly fertile time here in the US for inventing visual language. Now, I'm going to take a jump now. I was a painter and sculptor, and I brought this because I haven't used it in a while, and I'm actually getting ready to use it again. But whoever invented this nifty thing was a pretty nifty inventor.